How's it going, everyone? Chris here, and welcome back to another Super Smash Bros. Ultimate DLC leak discussion video. In today's video, we are actually going to be taking a look at something extremely huge because recently, Sabi decided to go ahead and come forward and give us some new information on the new DLC fighter that is officially going to be revealed this Thursday. However, guys, as always, and I cannot stress this enough, just because this information does come from Sabi, who is the most credible Super Smash Bros. Ultimate leaker, that does not mean that this information is going to end up being 100% real, so make sure you guys take it with a grain of salt and realize that I'm talking about this just for fun. If you guys would like to read while I talk, you can find a link to the original post in the description right down below, and now with all that out of the way, I have to tell you guys where this information came from. So guys, this information was sent in to me by one of my subscribers on my Twitter, so if you guys haven't already followed me there, you can find a link to it, as well as links to all of my social media presences, such as my Twitch and Patreon, in the description right down below, as well as the pinned comment. And now guys, with all of that out of the way, like I said, this information does come directly from Sabi over on his Twitter, so with all that being said guys, let's go ahead and take a look at what Sabi has to say. So guys, like I said, this information comes from Sabi, who starts by saying, "I would trust Zippo. Nothing he said has conflicted with my deconfirmations, and he's been a pretty honest friend. For those unfamiliar, he's been verified to share some things on Reset Era and mention some Smash teases today. For those out of the loop, he's been saying that the character is very related to Nintendo, but not directly, and corroborates that it's been very under wraps and dangerous to share outright." So guys, now let's go ahead and take a look at what Zippo has to say. So in a post, somebody asked Zippo, "RIP Hikari. Did one of your sources tell you it's going to be a kinda sorta Nintendo character?" And then another person named Hikari said, "So you know the character is what you were saying. Well, at least this means I can still be here for pass number 2, to which Zippo, who is the person who Sabi tells us that we should go ahead and trust, says, "That's what I heard around from people who know way more than me, but I can't say much more than that." So yeah guys, apparently this character is going to be one that is very heavily connected to Nintendo. However, it's not going to be an outright Nintendo character, right? So it's not going to be like Waluigi or any other Nintendo character that we really want to see. It's going to be a character that probably has a pretty big presence on Nintendo consoles. And honestly guys, at this point, there are really two characters that I could see fitting into this that are third party, but are also really connected to Nintendo. So guys, the first character that I think has a very strong chance of fitting into this is Crash Bandicoot. Now right away guys, yes, I do understand that Sabi has gone ahead and deconfirmed Crash Bandicoot as being the 5th and final DLC fighter on the First Fighters Pass. However guys, you have to remember that Sabi also said in that same post that it is possible that he could have been wrong about some of that information, so yeah, it is definitely possible that we could end up seeing Crash Bandicoot as the 5th and final DLC fighter. Now, one of the things that I want to go ahead and say is that, yes, at this point, it is pretty unlikely that we're going to see Crash, considering I do believe Sabi, being the most credible Super Smash Bros. Ultimate leaker, probably knows exactly what he's talking about in this situation. However, guys, it is still possible, especially if this character is really being kept under wraps. We also have to consider, guys, that this character is going to be a character that is a third-party character that is also heavily connected with Nintendo, and honestly, guys, Crash Bandicoot has a great history with Nintendo. Now, there are lots of people out there that actually believe that Crash Bandicoot is a Sony character, especially in the more casual side of things. However, guys, Crash Bandicoot is actually a character that is owned by Activision, and once again, he has a phenomenal presence on Nintendo platforms. For those of you guys who weren't already aware, although Crash Bandicoot and Sonic and Mario were all rivals way back in the day, Crash Bandicoot has actually had just as many games on Nintendo consoles as he has had over on Sony consoles, so to say that he has a very good reputation within the Nintendo community would be an absolute understatement. So if we take what Zippo said literally, as in it's a character that is heavily connected with Nintendo that has been kept very secret, then yeah, it could definitely end up being Crash Bandicoot because once again, guys, he has had a ton of games on Nintendo platforms, and he's a character that lots of people really want to see in Smash Ultimate. I mean, we already have 2 Crash Bandicoot games on the Nintendo Switch, being Crash Team Racing, as well as the Crash Bandicoot N. Sane Trilogy, so if Crash Bandicoot does end up getting revealed as the 5th and final DLC character this upcoming Thursday, I honestly can't say I would be surprised. The other character that I believe has a strong chance of joining the battle, if it is a character that is closely associated with Nintendo, is Rayman. Now, right away, guys, one of the biggest arguments that I always see against Rayman for some reason is that, oh, he's a character that is already in Brawlhalla, so there's no way he's gonna come to Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. However, guys, that makes absolutely no sense because obviously, every single character that is in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate has been in some other video game. It's not like they got their start in Smash. They all have origins in other video games, so yeah, like to say that, it doesn't really make sense at the end of the day. Now, in terms of Rayman's chances, guys, yes, I understand that Rayman is a spirit in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, and lots of people, including myself, used to believe that if you were a spirit in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, that means you could not be a playable fighter. However, guys, since we've been talking about it a lot at this point, yeah, that is absolutely a fan-made rule, and one that doesn't really hold any water anymore. Obviously, guys, if they did decide to go ahead and add Rayman into Super Smash Bros. Ultimate as the 5th and final DLC fighter, and they didn't want to have a spirit of Rayman that wasn't classified as a fighter spirit, all they would have to do is go into the code and remove the Rayman spirit. Like, if they decided to go ahead and do that, like, even though I don't think they're going to, like, if we did end up getting Rayman, I don't think they'd get rid of his spirit. I think they'd just leave him in there. However, guys, yeah, like, just because Rayman already is a spirit, that doesn't mean he can't make it into Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Now, in terms of his chances, guys, yeah, Rayman has a strong chance because Ubisoft and Nintendo are on phenomenal terms, and lots of people are shocked that Rayman is not already in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate because of this. I mean, for those of you guys who weren't already aware, Mario and Rabbids Kingdom Battle was a game that was developed 100% by Ubisoft, and Nintendo allowed them to use the Mario cast, and believe me when I say that Nintendo does not like to let other companies use their IPs, especially Mario, and not only did they develop that game, they also developed Starlink Battle for Atlas, where Nintendo allowed them to use the Star Fox cast, so yeah, guys, Ubisoft and Nintendo are on great terms, so if we don't end up getting Crash Bandicoot and Sabi is correct, that means at this point, I wouldn't also be surprised if we ended up getting a Ubisoft character. Getting a Ubisoft character in Smash is something that I think is long overdue at this point, so if we do end up seeing one, guys, I'm not going to be surprised, and I don't think a lot of you guys are going to be surprised out there either. However, guys, no matter which character we do end up getting, it is going to be absolutely insane. Now, one of the final things that I wanted to go ahead and address was Dante from Devil May Cry. Now, one of the things that I wanted to go ahead and talk about was the creators of the Devil May Cry franchise actually posted over on their official Twitter that there were 3 dates that we had to look out for, right? So it was January 16th, which is now the day that we are going to be getting Super Smash Bros. Ultimate news, as well as January 30th and February 13th, and lots of people thought that we were going to get the reveal of Dante as a playable character in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. However, guys, at this point, I don't think that's going to end up happening. Probably what's going to end up happening is we're going to get the announcement of the new character in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, and then later on in the day, they're probably going to announce that Dante can, like, wear a Mario hat or something else like that. I don't think that Dante is going to be the next character and the last character on the first Fighter's Pass. However, guys, that doesn't mean that Dante can't be joining a little bit later, so don't lose hope for Dante. He still has a chance to join later on. However, guys, with all of that being said, make sure you guys let me know your thoughts about everything that we talked about in today's video in the comment section down below. Do you guys believe that the next DLC fighter is going to end up being a character that is closely associated with Nintendo? Or do you guys think that it's going to be a Nintendo character or some other character that nobody saw coming? Let me know why or why not in the comments, along with which character you think we're going to see. And thank you guys all so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe, share, and like, and I will see you guys next time. Take care.